How to deal with anxiety. This is the part I'm anxious about. Anxiety. It is ironic, but that's the thing about anxiety. It's the one topic that tends to show up uninvited the second you start thinking about it. In this video, I want to help you understand anxiety on a deeper level. What it really is, why it shows up, and the different forms it can take. We'll talk about the physical side, the mental side, the past, the future, and the patterns that quietly make everything worse. I'll show you some real tools that can lower your overall anxiety levels. We'll go through panic attacks, cognitive distortions, and the cognitive biases that shape how your brain interprets the world around you. Anxiety is slippery. It can live in your chest, your stomach, your mind, and at times all three. It can hit you out of nowhere, or it can quietly sit in the background for months, buzzing just loud enough that you can never really relax. It's the constant what if? What if I fail? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they leave? What if I never feel normal again? And the cruel part about it is, anxiety convinces you that worrying will actually help. That if you can just think hard enough, plan enough, prepare enough, you can somehow stop bad things from happening. But that's a lie. Worrying isn't protection, it's paralysis. It's like sitting in a parked car with your foot slammed on the accelerator. You're burning fuel, you're making noise, you're shaking with tension, but you're not actually going anywhere. When I first started dealing with anxiety, I didn't even have a name for it. I just thought I was a worrier, and that's how I labeled myself. I'd wake up already on edge, heart racing, jaw tight, brain scanning already for something to fix. Sometimes, mostly, there wasn't even a reason. And that's the most frustrating part. The panic that comes from nowhere. You could be watching TV and suddenly your body behaves like you're about to be attacked. And when that happens, your brain starts to panic about the panic, about the panic, about the panic. It's a circle. You think, why is this happening? Am I dying? Am I losing it? And boom, the second wave hits, stronger than the first. That's what anxiety does best. It feeds itself. But the truth is, anxiety isn't trying to ruin your life. It's just trying to keep you safe. It's your body's ancient survival system, the same ones that kept our ancestors alive when there was real dangers. Tigers, cliffs, fires. Except now, the tigers are emails, bills, breakups, social media, and uncertainty. Your body still reacts like it's running for its life, even when you're just trying to sleep. You see, the system is ancient, but the triggers that we're forcing it now to deal with are modern. Our ancestors used to hunt maybe once a week, once every few days. Now our bodies are being forced through that cycle every time we check our phone nearly. And that's why it feels so overwhelming. It's like having a smoke alarm that goes off every time you make toast. So the first step in dealing with anxiety is understanding what's actually happening. That it's not just weakness. And it's not just in your head. It's simply a physical system doing its job a little bit too well. Once you understand that, it's not the enemy anymore. It's something you can learn to work with. When anxiety hits, this is what your body is doing. When anxiety hits, your nervous system floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol, the hormones designed to keep you alive. But they're also considered stress hormones. That's why your heart races, your breathing gets shallow, and your muscles tighten. Your body thinks it's saving you. Anxiety isn't just fear, though. It's your brain predicting danger when there's none there. And the trick is teaching it that you're safe. Most people think anxiety only lives in the future, and a lot of the time it does. It lives in a world of what if. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if this happens again? What if I can't cope? That kind of anxiety pulls you out of the present, and drags you into a world your brain is inventing to prepare you for pain. But anxiety also lives in the past, and sometimes that's even harder to notice. When your brain hasn't finished processing some old experiences that were overwhelming, confusing, or painful, then they stay open in the nervous system. Your body will keep scanning the world for anything else that feels similar. For example, if a friend doesn't reply for a few hours, a lot of people would just shrug it off. But your brain remembers the last time someone drifted away, so it fires the alarm early. Not because you're dramatic, because you're unprocessed. Sometimes the past can become a blueprint for fear. Your brain uses past events to predict future danger. If something hurt you once, your nervous system assumes it could happen again and will happen again, even if the current situation is completely different. For example, you were criticized harshly years ago, and now even small mistakes feel threatening. Your body reacts to a tiny slip up as if it's a catastrophe in the making. When shame or self judgment attach to old events, anxiety can grow from the belief that you were the problem. It creates loops like I always mess things up. I can't trust myself. Something must be wrong with me. These aren't emotions, though. They're conclusions you drew while hurting. For example, if you embarrassed yourself once in public, now every social situation feels dangerous. Not because the room is unsafe, but because shame is telling your brain that it might happen again. Grounding yourself works to calm some of these feelings. Try this. Stop and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste or remind yourself to taste of. It sounds simple, but it works. You're dragging yourself back into the present, the only place anxiety cannot survive for long. Breathing is another good tool, but not to throw away, just breathe. Try box breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold your empty lungs for 4. You're literally sending a message to your nervous system saying, we are safe. You'll feel your shoulders drop, your heart rate slow. Your thoughts will actually unhook. And when that voice in your head says, this will never stop, talk back to it. Say, this is anxiety. This is a false alarm. This is my body trying to protect me. You don't have to believe the thoughts that appear during an anxious episode. You just have to label them as symptoms, not truths. The role of cognitive distortions. Anxiety doesn't just attack your body, it attacks your thoughts. This is where cognitive distortions come in. Cognitive distortions are irrational, exaggerated thought patterns that twist reality. They're automatic, habitual, and extremely convincing when you're anxious. They make small problems look huge. They make neutral situations feel dangerous. And they make you believe your fear is fact. Some common ones are all or nothing thinking. If I'm not perfect, I'm a failure. For example, you make one small mistake at work and immediately think, well, I've ruined everything. You don't allow for good enough. It's either perfect or worthless. Next is overgeneralization. This went badly once, so it will always go badly. For example, you freeze during one presentation, so you conclude that you're bad at speaking forever. A single moment then becomes a permanent identity. Next is mind reading. They definitely think I'm stupid. For example, a friend replies later to you than usual, and you automatically assume they're annoyed with you. There's no evidence, just anxiety filling in the blanks. Next is catastrophizing, jumping straight into the worst case scenario. For example, you feel a small pain in your chest and instantly think you're having a heart attack. Your brain leaps past the probable and lands on the simply terrifying. Catastrophizing, especially, is a core root of anxiety. Your brain starts imagining potential danger, potential outcomes, and your body reacts as if it's actually happening. CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, for example, is a tool that teaches you to catch these distortions. It teaches you to say, is this true? Is this the actual only outcome? Has this always happened? Have I gotten through this before? I'm not telling you to be happy about the situation. You don't have to be positive. Just be more accurate. Cognitive biases. Biases? Cognitive biases. They're making anxiety worse. Cognitive biases are shortcuts your brain uses that can make anxiety even stronger. Like confirmation bias, only noticing things that prove your fear. For example, if you think you have a brain tumor, you're really going to notice when you have a headache. Now, I'm not saying ignore important symptoms, but headaches are normal. Or you send a message that someone takes an hour to respond. Your brain ignores the 99 times they replied normally and locks onto, they must be upset with me. You filter reality through the fear you already believe. Availability bias, remembering the scary things more easily. For example, you're about to drive and your brain immediately recalls the videos of car crashes you saw on TikTok, not the thousands of safe journeys you've already taken. Whatever feels emotionally loud becomes most likely. It's the wrong way to look at it. Next is anchoring bias, believing the first negative thought your brain throws out. For example, you walk into a room and your first thought is, everybody is looking at me, even when no one is. Your brain clings to the first interpretation as if it's a fact, but nobody is looking at you. Overconfidence bias, trusting your anxious prediction more than reality. For example, you assume the meeting will go terribly, even though you've had 10 normal meetings before. Your brain believes its own prediction more than the actual evidence. Next is hindsight bias, beating yourself up for not seeing it coming. For example, after a breakup, your brain rewrites the whole relationship as obvious, with a predictable end, or even a set demise, a destined pre-written failure, as if you should have known. You judge yourself with the information you didn't have at the time. How could I? How could you have known? You didn't have the relevant information at the time. These biases distort your perception, feeding this anxiety loop. Once you see them, once you know your brain is shaping the fear, you start to loosen their grip. Calming the body to calm the mind. Anxiety loves clutter. If your environment is chaotic, your mind will match it. So start small. Make your bed, clean your desk, open a window. Predictability is the opposite of panic. And here's a trap I believed for years. I thought that I could think my way out of anxiety. But anxiety doesn't speak logic. It speaks safety. You can't outthink anxiety, just like you can't outthink depression. You have to outfeel it. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, put your hand on your chest, and remind yourself, I am here, I am safe, and nothing bad is happening right now. Sometimes anxiety hits when nothing is wrong, because your body has learned to expect stress. That's called anticipatory anxiety, anticipating anxiety. Your nervous system becomes addicted to tension. Recovery is teaching it how to relax again. That might mean journaling before using your phone, saying no more often, taking 5 quiet minutes before walking into work. You're retraining your alarm system. Panic attacks. The truth. If you've ever had a panic attack, you already know how terrifying it feels. Your chest tightens, your vision narrows, your thoughts start racing in every direction at once. Your whole body feels like it's going to collapse or explode all at the same time. And the worst part? You're absolutely convinced something terrible is happening or about to happen. But here's what's really going on. A panic attack is your brain's emergency alarm, the same system designed to save your life, getting stuck in the on position. It's firing as if you're in danger, even when you're safe. It's a false alarm with real physical sensations. Your body floods with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pounds to pump more oxygen. Your breathing speeds up to prepare you to run. Your stomach flips because digestion shuts down when the body thinks survival comes first. Every sensation you feel is your body trying to protect you. And while it feels endless, it always ends. A panic attack is a surge, a peak, a wave your nervous system creates. It cannot and will not stay at that level forever. Biologically, it's impossible. No one has ever stayed at full panic attack intensity for hours. At least not that I know of. Your body will always calm itself back down. And your job isn't to fight it. Fighting makes it stronger. Your job is to ride it, like a wave rising and falling. Breathe through it. Anchor yourself with something real. The floor under your feet, a hand on your chest, the feeling of air moving in and out of your body. And gently remind yourself, this is a panic attack. This is uncomfortable, not dangerous. My body is trying to protect me, and this will pass. Because it will. Just like every other panic attack you've ever had in your life. It ended. And this one will too. Here's the part that nobody really tells you. Panic attacks lose their power the moment you stop treating them like emergencies. When you stop panicking about the panic, your nervous system will learn, oh, we're not actually in danger. And it will reset faster next time. And remember, you're not weak for having panic attacks. You're not broken. It's just your body trying a little bit too hard to keep you alive. Slightly in the wrong way. And you can train it back into safety, one gentle breath at a time. Social anxiety and micro connections. If anxiety makes you avoid people, that's normal. It's trying to protect you from embarrassment or overwhelm. But isolation will make it stronger. So start micro. Say hello to the barista. Send one text. Sit in a cafe with headphones on. You don't have to talk. You just have to remind your brain that the world is still safe. Build yourself a safe space too. It's one of my favorite things to do. Somewhere you don't have to perform. Your room, your car, your favorite stretch of beach. It's a place that you can breathe without pretending. When you have a safe space, anxiety loses one of its favorite weapons. Fear of exposure. Here are some of the basics that actually matter. Sleep, caffeine, movement, and food. They sound boring, but they are the foundation. Too little sleep makes anxiety roar. Too much caffeine feeds it. Lack of movement in general traps tension. And stressing your gut stresses your brain. Give yourself small kindnesses. Go to bed earlier. Swap one coffee for a glass of water. Stretch before bed. Because these tiny changes will matter more than most people realize. Retraining your nervous system. Talk about it. Anxiety hates being named. It hates being called out. The moment you say, I am having a bad day, I don't feel good, it shrinks. Write it down. Tell someone. Text someone. Record a voice note. Listen back to it. It doesn't have to be pretty at all. It just needs to be out. And one more thing. Anxiety and excitement feel almost identical in your body. Same heart rate, same butterflies, same energy. The only difference is the story you attach to it. Sometimes when anxiety rises, try saying, maybe this is just energy. Maybe this is my body preparing me for something good. That shift alone can change the whole experience in one fell swoop. Recovery doesn't mean becoming fearless. All it means is knowing that fear doesn't get the final say. It means letting anxiety sit in the passenger seat while you keep driving on anyway. Some days it's quieter, some days it's loud, but either way, you should keep going. So if your brain feels noisy, if your chest feels tight, if you've been overthinking everything, take a slow, deep breath with me. Right now, in this moment, you're safe. Your heart is still beating. Your lungs are still working. Your body is just doing its best to protect you. The danger your brain is screaming about isn't real. It's a story. You've survived 100% of your bad days so far. That's not luck. That's proof. Anxiety may visit, but it doesn't get to live rent-free. You can calm it. You can walk with it. You don't have to let it drive. Keep breathing. Keep grounding. Keep reminding yourself that safety isn't something you find. It's something you build. And the more often you return to calm, the easier it will become to find your way back when you need to. If you think it would help, share this video with someone who needs to be able to calm themselves. And tell me what helps you calm down when the world feels too loud. You're not broken. You're human. And at this very moment in time, you're doing just fine. My name is John. You're welcome to be here, and you're more than welcome to stay here.